There you go. I'm going to change planes as well, because we're going to be doing a little more straight liney kind of stuff here. I think I might just go for a sec into my favorite plane so far, the Diamond Aircraft DA62. Still fairly maneuverable, but can go a little bit faster. Flight conditions, we are going to go back to live time and weather and load that in. I'm going to refresh my own page, confirm that the stream is up. Excellent. Lovely. Pause my own stream as well. Go away, shoo fly. Hitting 100% CPU on loads too. I mean, clearly this game is heavily multi-threaded. That's probably what I could do for streaming. So I think this game is heavily multi-threaded, right? Because so many games are CPU limited because they don't thread to a bunch, right? So one of your cores is sitting at 100%, and the other ones are just sitting there twiddling their thumbs. It's like when you watch Roadworks. You know, there's one person with a shovel, and everyone else just sitting around having a cigarette and watch. That's what most games are, but here it is doing it all. But what I might do is limit this game to only use like all but one or all but two of my cores, and then I'll make sure OBS is running on the other one. That should probably help the load. So that's one of the reasons the performance is so good when you're normally playing the game, because it actually uses all of your hard. Oh, this is going to be a nice launch. Oh, this is going to be pretty. Oh, very different from what we just did. But it is going to be stupendously good. So yeah, I might do something like that going forward. I'm not going to mess with it now, unless we run into more issues, but we're going to take a look. Okay, so theoretically, everything should be running. We got some vehicles going on over here. This is not a custom scene replace. I'm going to turn on the pitot heat, although it's 24 degrees out there, and we're probably not flying that high up anyway. So we're going to be okay. We're all set up. I like this plane a lot. Yeah, and we're sort of in the mountainy areas. Is this... I don't know if it's a perspective thing, but I think this runway may actually be sloped slightly. I think it may be. So what the plan is to take off and fly west. Oh, I forgot to customize the tail number. You're right. You can do that when you choose your plane. When you choose your plane, you can type in your tail number, and they'll actually use it in the ATC and everything. They'll use it. Yeah, this feel... Not only is it sloped, but it's also uneven, which is actually a big deal in flight sim things, because a lot of runways are not perfectly flat. But in most flight sims, it tends to be represented perfectly flat. So A, you've got properly lumpy runways here. Also, the physics system is set up that like the traction of your tires and also your brake behavior is the big deal, is that it's going to be correct on all these sloped highways, which is a big deal. Dracaron, thank you very much for the bits. This place. Once when I flew from there to Bergen, I was asked to sit on the other side of the plane to balance out the mailbags. Yeah, because where I live, right, we don't have a huge airport. So the planes tend to be a little on the smaller side. And yeah, there's definitely been you know what? We need 4 passengers to move from the back of the plane to the front to balance out the weight. Like, oh, that fills me with so much confidence. But yeah, it's fine. Yes, I actually did a video, I think, where I did the Courchevel landing challenge, which is one of the challenges in the game. A little bit of right rudder. Steering with my feet is so weird. We don't have a lot of runway left. I mean, this doesn't need a lot of speed to take off, but we didn't have a whole heck of a lot to spare. You're up.
It's whiskey and chocolate.
Try to clear these trees. Best rate of climb is actually about 95 knots, so I'm climbing a little too pitchy. Normally I would take off. Oh, this is so good. Normally I would take off from inside the plane, because especially with something like this, because I'd be looking my angle and things, because it's a little bit less like purely acrobatic. I want to live there. I want to live right there, you guys. This is my house. No one else buy it. I gotta go and find out where it is and buy that house. Oh, let's bring the flaps up. Oh, oh, that's so nice. All right. That is one pretty good. We suggestions and requests are a good idea. I got a few things on the to-do list. But we'll see. I think we are going to do Cape Town after this, because it was really lovely, and someone else brought it up today, and I was like, yeah, you know what? It's probably worth doing. Oh my god. Now, I like the markers for, like, touristy, like, you know, show me the points of interest, but then every now and again I'm like, I need to take a screenshot and that thing's in the way. Mm. Oh, that's good. Just joined. I thought you were inverted. Oh, do you think the plane looks like it's inverted? That's kind of funny. And oh man. All right, climb's good. That's we don't have the barrow. Ooh, there's some chop. You can see we are flying in live weather, live time. Okay, we bring open the map. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna follow this waterway down, and then I'm gonna take a right up the coast. Oh God, just natural pristine beauty. I mean, our flight over San Francisco a second ago, I mean, that was beautiful, right? But this is a whole other kind of something going on. We tried Track IR, so I've never used Track IR. I've used Track No IR. The other thing I've used, although I don't think with flight sims, is, oh shoot, what is that thing called? The little sensor bar that tracks your eyes. Tobii Eye. The Tobii, Tobii Eye Tracker. I've used it for stuff. I've got a couple of sponsored videos for it on my channel, actually. And it works really beautifully. I don't know if it does it with flight sims. I really enjoyed it with Farming Simulator, though. I feel like I want to go low. I'm going to pull the throttle all the way back, and then just pitch down, sort of to within the limits of the airframe here. I think it says the cruising speed on this is about 175. You can see the red and white barber pole showing up on my airspeed indicator over on the what's on the left side of the screen. I'm mirrored this way. There's a beautiful airfield in Switzerland called Semeden. Wonder if it's in the game. Well, probably. I did do one flight. One of the viewer request flights was in the Swiss Alps. Started from Basel. There was a couple of different spelling variants of it, but I think it's the same. B-A-S-L-E. The airport itself was like Basel dash something that starts with an M. There's a little town over here. Yeah, I chose this plane because it does go pretty fast. Although I realized that other plane we were using actually is pretty quick. A little farming. What would you farm here? Because, I mean, it's not like this area gets a lot of sunlight. And, you know, there would be a lot of winter days. Like, I would sort of more expect ranching. Like, I think, like, you know, when you think of, like Wales, or actually Scotland and things, right? It's, like, all, like, sheep farming, also cow ranching, not farming. And I would have sort of expected a similar thing over here. Farm people, potatoes. Fishing and ranching, yeah. Oh, there's a bit of a terrain oopsie doodle over here. Oh. Oh my. Oh my. Look at the shadow too, right? So the mountain is casting a shadow on the other mountain. There's another house over there! And those are buildings picked up by satellite imagery. There is something there in real life. Oh, this is so pretty. I know it's just a sea of green, but that, and with the way the lighting is right now. Here, let's go over this little mountain. Basel, Mulhouse Airport, yes. Meat and dairy farm. Yeah, but the thing is, it looked like crop fields I was seeing, right? Right there were definitely some crop fields. Maybe it's some sort of crop used for ranching, right? Are we gonna be able to do this? So it might be growing like corn or something like that to like pig feed, like cow feed type stuff. Could be hay. Come on, buddy, you can do it. It's the little plane that could. Oh, we're gonna get out some, I think some flap here. I know that's gonna kill some of our speed as well, but we're flying so low. We're at the bottom. The bottom of the green line is the bottom of your no flaps fly zone. Okay, guys, we did it. We didn't die. Woo-wee. Yeah, we're losing speed because I kept having to go up to match the terrain. Oh. Oh, yes. Oh, my. And then another lighting change. Oh, that's so good. Oh. Anyone from Norway in the chat? West coast of Norway actually has a lot of fruit growing. Apples, plums. No. What? No. What? How? Well, I mean, okay, I have to remember that climate is so dependent, especially on how close to the water you are. And also the jet streams and things like this, which has a big impact of things. Like, for example, I know, like, the UK is really far north, but has much better weather than we have here, partially because of how the jet stream moves, and partially because they're surrounded by water, and water's really good at maintaining stable temperatures. So anywhere coastal tends to be a little bit more stable. We got some snow up here. Quite a bit of it, actually. I'm not even that high up. We're only 5,000 feet. Oh, look at the snow. Anyone want to go skiing? Yeah, we got it. I need screenshots. UK got better weather than Canada. Well, okay. First of all, Canada's really big. Spoiler alert: Canada's very large. So there's no one weather in Canada. Do I have my my flaps are up? Good. But yeah, I mean, yeah, the UK has a lot of like gray, rainy days. That's true, but it doesn't get like mind-bogglingly cold. Skiing there for me would be more like dying. Less skiing, more dying. Yeah. Oh, look at the little puffs of clouds that are sitting just on top of these peaks, which is very realistic because the way the wind forms, you can see some more of it over here, right? Because the air, you get air that comes off of the waterways and then hits the slope and then is pushed up and up and up and up and up, and as it goes up, it cools. So you form these clouds on top of these peaks until before the air comes back down. So you get that. Sometimes you get some really cool, what do they call it, like lenticular clouds and things on tops of mountains that are very dramatic. And sometimes it leads to like really weird weather on the opposite side. Is it the Chinook effect that happens east of the Rockies? As you get like the air that comes in and like within a few hours you get like a 20-degree shift in temperature, like Celsius. So what would that be, like 45-degree shift in Fahrenheit temperature? You get some ridiculous... Oh my god, look how gorgeous this is up front. Screenshot. Chinook is Calgary's warm weather. Yeah, and I think it's an effect of like certain winds and things happening over the Rockies and then coming back down. Someone posting lyrics to Arrogant Worm songs. Canada's very big. Yeah. Where are rocket launchers? Yeah, I know. So every time I do these flight sims, there's someone like, oh, well, if you want really, like, try DCS. I'm like, what part of this makes people think I want to play a combat flight sim? I gotta say, DCS is very impressive, but it ain't what I'm looking for. And this has another way of, oh my god. This has a different degree of complexity and things. Different emphasis. Oh my god, that is... Norway! See, I gotta go to Norway. I gotsta. Alright, where are we? Oh, shoot, we got a long way to go. Well, you know what this will be a good time for? Time acceleration. Let me go and sort of level off a little here. Something like this. Hit the engage autopilot button, so it should be on just pitch and roll control. R++. Okay, we'll increase the rate. Notice, even though I'm on a release version, there's still not a UI indicator about our time acceleration. I don't know how fast we're going. I think we're... Oh, that's so pretty! I think I'm going at ×4 speed. But I don't know. And I have to remember how many clicks of time acceleration that I did, because if I want to undo it and go back to normal, I have to do the same number of clicks. It is a little weird to me that there's not... Hell, that's beautiful. It is a little weird to me that it doesn't actually have an on-screen indicator for that. It's like such an easy little thing, like a little text box. You're now ×2. You're now ×4. Yeah, I think you can slow down time as well, if you go negative a few times. Look at this carpet of clouds below us. It's changed the weather because we could see everything, but this is spectacular. Those clouds, though, right? I mean, I was talking about following the waterways, but I'm actually really, really happy I'm clipping across these mountains here. This game really does reward exploration. There's tons of just things in the world to find that you wouldn't necessarily expect. Now, I'm expecting these clouds will probably fade away when we're off of the mountain area. The autopilot level hold thing still in initial release. I don't think I experienced any issues with it in testing, so I'm not 100% sure, unfortunately. Right now, I'm just in a pitch and roll hold mode. This is just the default. If you turn on the autopilot, default over here is just roll and pitch. So, but I haven't had any problems with the autopilot so far. I do like the virtual display here, which is something that exists in real life, but is like so easy for them to do in a computer because it's just literally rendering the same world with a different shader and no clouds. But it really helps. I especially like using this when landing because you can see the runway in here when sometimes you can't see it out the front because, you know, the way your nose is pitched or anything like that. Yeah, the autopilot, as far as I can tell, seems to work beautifully. Oh, look at this. Every now and again, you can see seams in some of the satellite imagery. Although, that might be something else going on there. That's not a seam the same way. No, it sort of still is. There's a strip maybe missing from the satellite imagery files, or plane flyovers. Some of the really high res stuff is actually not truly satellite stuff. It's plane flyovers. There we go. It's clearing up as we reach the edge of the water. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go control minus, go back to normal speed, drop the autopilot, and speaking of dropping, I think we're going to do exactly that. Throttle all the way back and pitch all the way down. Oh, you're getting that weightlessness in the pit of your stomach. 5,000 feet per minute. That seems fine. Just controlling the airspeed. I want to descend as quickly as possible without actually overspeeding. I mean, it's not... Would you call the Atlantic... I mean, it's the same body of water, but really all the oceans are just one big body of water. This would be... Is it the North Sea? What would we call this? North Sea? North Sea? Yes. Okay, excellent. That's a pretty rapid descent. I don't know, what would be the apparent G-forces for some of these things, right? Would we actually feel a little weightless in our seats? I mean, to a certain extent, no matter what. But I don't know how quickly we have to... I mean, I guess you're doing a parabola. We'd actually have to be accelerating at 9.8 meters per second. Right? Per second. To actually give you the weightlessness. So at first it might have been weightlessness, and then you sort of settle back in, I guess. Because then it all normalizes, right? Oh, that airspeed. Getting a little close to that barber pole. Let's just level out a little bit. I don't have any spoilers or anything on this plane. Spoilers! There's no spoilers, I think. So I think the only thing I can do to sort of slow down the airspeed is to not pitch down as much, since I'm literally at 0 throttle over here. Oh, for those of you who watched my footage of our flight around Iqaluit, turns out those lakes are there. It's just the elevation data is a little bit wonky with it. So, in theory, the airport is somewhere out over here, the one we were talking about. Through the cloud layer. Look behind us. Oh, so pretty. Little town over here. Like 5 whole houses. Probably a fishing village. Alright, let's level out. And throttle up. Nice. Enemy fighters on our 6. We tried playing with controller? Yeah. I mean, first of all, I've always had a joystick thing, but yeah, I am using a Honeycomb controller and a throttle pod right now. I'm mostly using the keyboard for, well, for the time acceleration, pausing, and all the screenshots. I actually don't think I'm using the keyboard for anything else. Oh, the one exception is, and if I'm in the cockpit, I do use the arrow keys to move around. The left, right, and by default goes up and down, and if you hold Alt, it'll move backwards and forward. It won't let you move through anything, which is too bad, because sometimes I sort of would like to clip through things. I don't know what it's like to play with just a keyboard and mouse, but you can do it. I think pure keyboard and mouse gameplay would be a lot easier with maybe some of the airliner stuff, because it's mostly, when you're doing airliner stuff, you're mostly just mousing in the cockpit and, like, you know, clicking through like 100 different controls. The harder part would be, you know, some of the maneuvering like this. I've done it before. Some of the things have mouse yokes, so you sort of like in the middle of the screen, and then as you move to the left or the right, it'll roll or bank in various things. I think the runway is east-west. It actually, here's the interesting thing, which I don't think I remember seeing in other games before, but maybe I'm just a little clueless. If we can actually see it. Yeah, there we go. Sometimes even the little indicators on the maps will actually show you the runway situation here. Are we actually going to try landing? Emphasis on the try. Let's do it. Let's swing around this way. Have you done Egypt pyramids yet? Yes. So I posted a ton of pictures of it on Twitter or Twitch. Sorry, no, Twitter. I haven't done it in a video. The pyramids are absolutely gorgeous and a lot of fun to just buzz. Watch out for the barber pole. Bring the speed down a little bit. Landing is easy. The question is whether or not you can land more than once. Yes. I mean, landing is as easy as aiming for the ground and not missing. And yeah, gamepad works fine. But the thing is, what I've used, hang on, for most of my flying before this was this Logitech 3D Extreme, about $50 or something like that. I mean, it's not, you know, it's not free, admittedly. But really, really good value to that. At least Honeycomb yoke is insanely good. But if you're, you know, you're not sure if you're going to commit to doing a lot of flying, that thing, excellent. No complaints. I'm going to bleed off a little bit more speed here because I want to just put in one level of flaps in a second. Lots of little islands out here. Makes me think of Northern Ontario. So, what's our heading right now? We got that. So, 340. Gosh, I'll probably just do the full loopy-do-loop. I could open the ATC, actually get some information about the actual runway heading. We'll just eyeball it, right? How hard could it be? Listen, I have bad... I'm not great at landing at airports where I've been. And just sort of eyeballing a random airport I've never visited. I like how it's got the lead-in lights. I like airports that have that. It's really nice. We're too close. We're way too close. But I'm not. I'm gonna go for it anyway. Go around. Go arounds are for losers. We'll do it from outside, which is not actually easier than inside the plane. Okay. I think we're a little low maybe from where we want to be. Does not have the 4 lights. Gear down. We're going too fast. Hey, where are they? Where are 4 lights? I'm sort of having to base the approach, whether I'm too high, too low, sort of kind of just... Okay, well, I'm losing too much speed here, so that's no good. Just based sort of on the shape of the runway here. Okay, where's my feet at? Okay. Down. Oh, a little fast. Well, this is not a very long runway either, so that could be very punishing. Not centered. Well, actually, that was pretty gentle. Not centered. And we were a little floaty for a while. But kind of butter smooth, yeah. Can I make this corner? Oh! All my passengers in the back have just been shoved into their seatbelts as I slam on the brakes. I should have just gone for the next taxiway, but, you know, this is fine, too. Flaps up. Take your hands off the yoke. You're gonna keep trying to steer with the damn yoke instead of with your feet. There we go. Not bad. J. Owens gives us a 6.9 out of 10. 8 with rice. Try not to run over these little vehicles. Okay. Parking brake on. And if I turn the engine off, I think... Ooh. I'm not in a... No, I'm not actually parked where I need to be. Because what would happen if I was parked where I need to be, if I just called in for like, hey, give me taxi instructions for whatever, it would actually like properly end this flight and things. But that's not bad. 8.5 with vodka. 40% with vodka. Okay. Next up. Let's go to Cape Town. Fly to Nuremberg. Land on the straightaway and complete a lap. Oh, that's cool. Oh, is there whiskey and chocolate? Oh, yes, that I totally missed. Was that like 20 minutes ago? 23 minutes ago. Oh, actually, I missed Dark Requiem earlier, too. I'm sorry. Oh, surgeon frontline healthcare worker. Oh, man. Well, Dark Requiem, I hope you're going to be okay. Or I missed that message earlier. And Homing Pigeon as well. As amazing and perfect content. Thank you. Just an idea, no obligation. Yosemite National Park in California might be a wonderful flight. Fly around Half Dome. Many people call it the most beautiful place on Earth. Ooh. I'm trying to remember. Under the activities and the bush trips. Yeah, so this ends, this bush trip ends somewhere in or around Yosemite. So we may have to take another look at that going forward. Oh yeah, and Courchevel. Landing challenge event. You can get scored in how well you can land there. I mean, there's a bunch of these landing challenges too in here if you want to be busy. Strong wind landing with different planes. Or Gibraltar. UK. Yeah, let's not go into that. Start some fights in the chat. But yeah, that's really cool. Speaking of, this flight was excellent. Oh, I'm so happy we've done that. But yeah, let's flip all the way down here. Did my filters reset themselves again? Weird. Okay. We're going to take off from Cape Town. Actually, do I have to take off from the ground? Yeah, sure, why not? Let me... So we're not going to go real time because... Oh, is it? Yeah, live weather, but I'm going to rewind the time a little bit because it was going to be a little bit dark.